let's see, where was I with this project yesterday? Git status. We can remove that one, and we're gonna run yarn test watch, and we're gonna see, what are we gonna see? What was that noise? Okay, so we have to go check out how do we add support for mono stuff. So we just have to say mono space. Now yay text, let's see, mono space is right here, code. So this is what we want, index test, describe code, and we're gonna have two different types of code blocks. It converts code into monospace font, done, lib of code, so lib of code, then result, and we are expecting result to equal blah. Okay, that pasted weirdly, but this is what we're expecting, and it's now failing. Perfect. So we can go here. Let's see, is anyone actually out there, or is my chat room wrong? Okay, 2 people watching, but nobody's showing up in the chat room. That's weird. Let's just make sure that the chat room is working. Okay. Why is that? Why does that have to make my entire computer freeze? It's so weird. Okay. Cool. So how do we know which code blocks exist? Remark, carbon, remark.js, I wish I remembered where the different code blocks were defined. How can I find that? Let's see, I visit way too many websites for just normal history to work. No, that's not it. I think it was on GitHub. So that might help. Let's see. Remark index, JSDOM, friendly interface, remark, awesome remark, free code camp, in browser, HTML, search saxophone, package JSON, yay text, strip markdown, yeah, I'm not having much luck here, am I? Emphasis, okay. So where, I wish there was a list of all the different ones. Node, what are different types of nodes? MDASD node types. Okay. Code. Type code. Okay. So we can. Hey Ridari, how's it going? So can say visit tree with code. Code, and we say function code of node. It says node dot children dot for each. This is getting kind of repetitive, isn't it? And we know that, what does italicize actually call? Our prepared transformator. Let's just do it again. So monospace, no children for each, function child and index. We say child value equals monospace child dot value. Does that work? Unhandled promise rejection into monospace font. I'm doing pretty good. Playing around with this new project I've been working on. It's pretty cool, I think. I'm trying to make a little tool to make it easier to tweet out complicated stuff. Why is this not working? Expected code. What did we get? Console log result. Key. So what did we get and what are we expecting? I have messed around with Gatsby quite a lot actually, and we're gonna build the front end for this in Gatsby as soon as I get the library itself working well enough for the front end to be worth it. So it's not figuring this out. What if we change child value to, let's say, hello world? And actually all of my what are they called, I can't remember what I was trying to say, but a lot of my current static sites are actually built in Gatsby already, and they have been for a while, so I am quite bullish on that whole thing. Why does what return a promise? You mean this thing? It is returning a promise because because remark is callback based. So instead of having a callback, I decided to make it run in a promise because that is easier to use in modern code. So I figured that would be better. So it looks like we aren't actually finding a code block. We are doing something else. Inline code is what it's called. Let's try that. So inline code should change to let's try that again. Gatsby like WordPress with React, yes. If you feed WordPress data into it, then Gatsby is like WordPress. But it's really a lot more than just WordPress. So what is going on here? Console log found child. Let's see. Is it going into our code, and that's what messing things up. Okay, will that make a more, okay, that makes a better error. Unhandled promise rejection, good. And if our code doesn't do anything, visit 3 inline code. Okay, that is still good. Then we say function child console log index. Let's see. Bam, that throws out a lot of errors. Not really sure why. Well, why remark has to do it async, that I don't know. It's just doing it async, but I'm not really sure why. I think it just makes the whole framework more flexible, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay. So I'm not really sure why it's failing that hard, because it shouldn't be. What if we say, oh, monospace of child.value? Will that just make it magically work? No. Or so this error report is not very useful. So libcode, then result, console log result. Is it actually not even getting to the result? Oh, that's what's wrong. It's not calling done. No? Okay, let's see. Yarn test watch. This is failing some really weird way. Okay, if we don't do anything here, if we just call done, and in catch we say error and we console log the error, and what happens? Let's do it this way. Console log hello catch. Okay, hello catch, type error, stack code at blah. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, what if we copy this? Will that make it work? It's going to. It should still fail the test, but at least it shouldn't error out. Okay, I don't understand why this is failing so much. Inline code, if we call that with bold, would that make it work? So it looks like inline code is weird. So let's see, what does the node look like for inline code? Console log inline code, console log of node. Aha, value code position, and does this not have children? Node.value. Ah, okay, so inline code doesn't have children that we have to go through. We just change the node itself. So we say node.value equals monospace of node.value. Perfect. Okay, so that was fun to find out. So like that. Yay. Okay, so now we're transforming inline code. Get status, get commit -a. I'm not using Vim key bindings, but I am using some Emacs key bindings and a lot of the default key bindings, so kind of like a mix, but mostly because I got used to using Emacs key bindings over the years, so I wanted to keep it. I didn't want to really relearn all of my muscle memory when I was learning how to use VS Code. Okay, git commit converting inline code to monospace. Okay, now we're gonna do something really cool. We're going to change code blocks into URLs. So let's see, techletter.app. Why? Okay, let builder, and we're gonna see how this one does it. So I built a while ago, I built a Lambda on AWS that can take code blocks and convert them through Carbon SH to URLs. So we're gonna try to use that now so that we can do it for tweets. Yes, unlimited repos. So letter renderer, showdown, screenshot, code. So I'm just gonna use this one. Let's see. Code source BTOA. Okay, no, is it this one? A class component, blah. So it converts code into monospace font. It converts code blocks into Carbon now sh screenshots. Done. So we're gonna say lib of, say, const blah equals hello world. This should become a, so await result equals, no, const result equals await, and this has to be an async method. Cool. And then we are just going to console log the result for now and call done. Right? Yes. So tests failing, converts code blocks into blah. Okay, so that kind of worked. I think. Did that work? Okay, so we have to deal with code blocks before we deal with inline code. Yeah. So visit 3 code. So this is going to be inline code, and code is going to be code. So function code with node, and we're going to console log the node to make sure that we're getting it. No. Console log hi code. Seriously? It can't do both? what if we do it this way? So \n \n, will that make it proper code blocks? Yes. Okay, so that makes it a code block. It needs new lines. So value is that. Now let's send that to our lambda and see what happens. I wonder if we can call fetch. We can try. Console log blah. Now let's see. The URL is going to be console log okay, so URL so pub async function code. It takes the source and we say consource equals no.value. That goes into that one, and code type. How do we know the code type? Code type is going to be JavaScript for starters. Okay. Const rest, and then instead of set state, we're gonna say console log error. Otherwise, we console log the URL. Okay, now let's see what happens. It gets the error. Wonderful. So why is there an error? Console log error e. Reference error. Why is there a reference error? Does fetch not exist? Console log fetch. Is there seriously no fetch in Node? Okay, let's see. If a, do it this way, console log URL, then it doesn't throw the error. So apparently fetch doesn't exist in Node. Do I actually want this to be able to run in Node? I think I do. Node fetch polyfill. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so we need node fetch, yes. But how will I know to only get node fetch when I'm on the in Node? Because I want this to work in the browser as well. I guess we'll see. So yarn add node fetch. We go here and we say import fetch from node fetch, and then everything else should just work in theory. Yarn test watch. Undefined is not an object. Global fetch bind. What? Type error, no global fetch bind. Okay, maybe what if I do const fetch equals require node fetch? Will that make it work? No. I have no idea why this is wrong. Node fetch, what's it called? Karma, type error. Okay, maybe I have to do it here. So we're gonna say import fetch from blind. We'll say global.fetch equals fetch. No, that is not working well at all. So what happens if up here we console log global? What is in there? Okay, so just importing fetch already doesn't work. So let's see, GitHub node fetch. Okay, what is isomorphic fetch? Type. Let's just copy pasta this. Where is it? Undefined is not an object. Brr. Node fetch blah. So that's not working. Let's try this one then. So yarn remove node fetch. And let's try isomorphic fetch instead. Okay. Yarn add isomorphic fetch. What's the fetch ponyfill? Okay, let's try this one first. So the silly part here is that I'm just doing this because I need tests, and I really don't want to be dealing with this right now. Import isomorphic fetch. I guess we shouldn't really be needing this, since this is going to eventually run in the browser. I just want it to also be able to run on the backend, or like, you know, anywhere. Okay, so this doesn't actually wait. It ends up skipping our thingy, which is not great. I used to know how to do this. Actually, no, I never knew how to do this. But I'll be right back. I need to find some snack. Be right back. Okay, so where was I? Why is remark ignoring our asynchronous thing? The funniest part here is that even though remark itself is async, it ignores async plugins. Let's see. Remark async plugin. Okay. Okay. Wow. What's Spectrum chat? Okay. An attacher, a wrapper function. Aha. Okay, so the transform can return a promise. Okay. Okay, so we should be able to have async plugins. Where is that say? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Asynchronous or not. So the transformer needs to return a promise. I need an example because I'm not sure how to do that. Okay, transformers modify the syntax tree or metadata of a file. Transform is a function which is invoked each time a file is passed through. Returns a node. If a promise is returned, the function is asynchronous and must be resolved, optionally with a node, or rejected, optionally with an error. So this needs to return a promise. I would like an example of that because I'm not sure exactly how to do it. Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. So we can say that this is an async function that after everything is done, no, or yes, no, I'm not sure how do I decide when to resolve this? That's the real question. Mm-hmm. Okay. Unist util visit. We need to know when that one finishes. If we know when that one finishes, then we can do everything else. This function works exactly the same as visit parents, but visitor has a different signature. Mm-hmm. Visit visitor, visitor node. Okay, let's see if we get any arguments that could help us out here. Console log arguments. Let's see. Aha, now it actually made a request. Okay, no. But at least we know it makes a request, so that's good. Let's see if we can tell visitor or visit. No. There's no way to know when this is done. How do we know? How can we know when promises are resolved? Okay, we can try some magic. Let's see, async transformer, and we're gonna say let code promises equal an empty array, visit blah, and code is going to so const promise is going to be a new promise, yes. Okay, so resolve true. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to know when to resolve it. So we're gonna have code promises dot push a new promise that gets resolve and reject and does all of this stuff like that. So we're going to say fetch, then res.text, then we're going to get the URL and resolve with the URL. Or actually, we're gonna once it's resolved. So if it's catch, we throw that directly into reject. Otherwise, we parse the text. So res and return res text. That gives us the URL. And we resolve the promise, but first we say no.value equals URL. Now what's it complaining about? And we close that. So okay, now down here, unhandled promise rejection, yeah, whatever. Function code, and here we're going to say promise dot all of code promises, then resolve catch reject, and our transformer is going to return a new promise that gets function resolve and reject and gets all of this stuff. Come on, resolve reject, okay, let's see. So we return a new promise, close that like that. So put everything back in, and we should now, in theory, let's see. Unhandled promise rejection. that's not working. Okay, let's try it without, oh, because it needs to be like this. So we can do inline code immediately, and we can do that, but code is asynchronous, so it needs to go through the code promises thing. Let's see if that works. Now, unhandled promise rejection. Okay, so if we don't do any of the code stuff, let's try not doing that and just call resolve here. Will that make it work? Okay, so that works, but then obviously it's not doing the code stuff. The problem here is that I don't know in advance which promises I'm gonna have to resolve or wait for. So what do we do there is the question. Let's see. Remark async transformer example. Remark async plugin example. Aha, asynchronous remark transformer. Okay, perfect. So this is exactly the problem I'm having. Okay. Okay. So that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the whole thing in 2 passes. So let's see. Burp, 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 ba, 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 ba. Okay. Let's go back to our original thing. So const res equals await fetch, and then URL equals await res.text. Res.text, is that true? Where's my tech letter one? tech letter. I wonder if anyone is still out there watching. Source, showdown, code, URL await rest text. Why is this not working now? Oh, async function, cool. Now transformer needs to return a promise. Okay, and let's crib from what this guy Hui Nguyen is doing, where we record all paragraph nodes that need to be transformed. So, oh yeah, inline code is fine now. Come on. So inline code. So we're gonna say const nodes to code nodes to change is an array. Then we say visit tree of code with node. Okay, what is check result? Check result. Okay, check node. Our fetch. Where is he doing fetch? I mean, I'm pretty sure TypeScript is actually catching on. Const check result equals check node. Aha, so we say code nodes to change, push node. Okay, tree paragraph, second pass. Ah, very nice. Okay, so code nodes to change, then we say for const of node of code nodes to change. Very smart. So const transformer equals tree file blah, and it returns a new promise with resolve and reject, like that. Okay, let's so pup actually I guess we can do it like this. Function tree file function transformer like that, and we return the promise Okay, so we collect our nodes to change, do all the things. Now here, when we are iterating, what's it complaining about now? Oh no, it is actually working. So in the end we resolve, because here we're awaiting, so we can say no.value equals URL. Syntax error, await is a reserved keyword. So we have to say, what do we have to say? This has to be an async function. Let's try that again. Import and export can only export default converter. So what am I messing up still? So we take all this code and we say close, 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 like that. And in here we paste back the code, and it is not working. But the idea was great. Let's see. If we don't do this part, what happens? So everything passes except for this stuff. Okay, let's see. Console log code nodes to change. Code nodes to change. Object type hello world, and it only has it once. Cool. So we should be doing this also only once. Console log hi with the node. I've seen React with TypeScript, and it looks pretty good. Where it gets really interesting are render props, and that's where it just becomes an entire shit show, and it's not fun at all. But other than that, it's really cool and useful. Aha, so node is undefined because I'm an idiot. Okay, now let's see if that works. One test failed. Okay, so the test still fails, but let's see, do we get a URL? Did we not get a URL? Try catch error. And we say console log error with E. It's not doing the thing. Console log hi. Oh, it is actually doing the thing, sort of. Console log hi2. Let's see if it gets there. Hi, and then hi2 doesn't print. Why not? Can we see that we are actually getting those requests? And how long have I been streaming? I should probably get back to doing other stuff. So AWS Management Console. Okay, virtual machine. Let's see. Do I have a... Can I see... Yeah, we should be able to see logs somewhere. CloudWatch logs. Burp. How do I get to CloudWatch logs? So the lambda is there. CloudWatch. And this I should now be able to find out if we're actually making those requests. And I think that we are. Oh, this is actually making a lot more requests than I thought it was. Where do... Logs, screenshot as a service, latest from today, loaded target, made screenshot, build duration. Okay, so the lambda is getting triggered and it's doing stuff, but it's not returning it here. What happens if we don't do this and we say node value is hello world and we just print out the response? Do we get that back at least? Oh, code type isn't even defined. No, neither is source. No, they are both defined. Console log that and source. Let's see. Hi, yes, that. Okay, so that works, but it's never coming here. Does fetch actually exist? Function fetch, yeah. Okay, maybe this isn't working here. Or maybe we are timing out because it says here it's taking 4 seconds to create the result and we finish in 2 seconds. So let's see, karma test delay. No, karma test timeout. What if we never call done? Oh, this is weird. Why isn't it printing anything? Okay, timeout of 2000 milliseconds exceeded. So where do I set the timeout? Karma configure timeout. So nwb config timeout. Capture timeout process kill. No, browser socket timeout. So I'm not sure how to force it to wait, but I am pretty sure this is working. I think. Console log about to resolve. Let's see if that prints. Yeah, no. So it's behaving like it's not actually waiting for my stuff, but let's see what happens if we call it in a real context. So we got all of that. Now let's open test.js and we're gonna do this convert, and I'm gonna pass in a code block. This is a code block, \n, blah, like that, then console log, and let's see what happens now. Note nwb, no, yarn build. So this is basically me getting a little fed up with having trouble with karma, or just in what is happening here. So I'm trying to figure out if we can prove that our code works even though it's not passing tests. So node test.js. Aha, see, it did work. It was just slow. And does it actually produce the correct result? Let's see. It does, sort of. Well, that's not what I was looking for, but it tried. Okay. So we have to encode the thing before we pass it over, but so we are going to say node.value. How do we change the actual node value? Oh, I see. Okay, so we're gonna say node.value equals URL, and we do actually have to push them in like this, because that way when we take them out we can abuse pass by reference. So this is working. Now let's see how to make karma wait longer for test. Okay, yarn build, and we're gonna try it again. Node test.js. This is a code block, but it's not. Why isn't it updating the node? Okay, so first let's see what we have to pass into our source. This props. So we are rendering code with btoa of blah. So source is btoa of node.value. And we say node dot value is what happens if we just change it to hello world and console log our URL? And then let's console log the node as well. Log node, yarn build, and try it again. And I should stop streaming for now. Node test.js. Bam. BTOA is not defined. Node BTOA is not defined. Okay, let's just put it here. If global exists, then we say that. Yarn build. Node test.js. Aha. Okay. So that worked. This is a code block. We have our node and we have the URL. And if we assign node.value equals URL, we should get that, but why isn't it updating the tree itself? That is my question. Let's see, what if we get object and then we say object.node.value. That might work. I mean, I guess we'll see, right? If that works. Yarn build node test.js. Please work. Okay, so it's not really working. See here where it's printing out the code block? It should be inserting a URL for the image. Now let's see if at least it's generating the correct image. Okay, so that works. See, we're now creating images for code blocks. And we are going to continue tomorrow because it's already late enough and I have to go do some other stuff as well. So if anyone's still there, thanks for watching. I will see you again tomorrow. Commit -m, generating carbon screenshots of code blocks. Git push origin master. And I will see you again tomorrow.